Hey y'all, what's up? This is Miss G, 50 Shades of Glow, checking in on a Sunday in the ATL, Soulful Sunday. Hope everyone's doing well. So this is February. So we done broke all of our resolutions. And now we gotta readjust to see what we really want to do. But I just wanted to check in to do a PSA. We talked about it. I talked about it last year. And it's already 2024. And I asked, are y'all ready for 2024? Will y'all be ready for 2024? Now, for those that think we live in utopia or this is just how we have to live, okay, you don't have to listen because you that's just how you think. I can't change anybody's perspective. It's only my opinion. There's a lot of folks that feel the same way. So if you think that this country is just doing the best for you and this country, is better than every other country, okay, no worries. The one question is, do you have a passport, right? And two, have you traveled to more than like 2 or 3 countries to have that position? But anyway, I'm not going to throw shade. It's no shade. It's just to have a more of an open mind, to live your best life. Most people that know me, I'm going to live my best life, babe. Knocking on the doors of 60, I'm going to live my best life. Okay, like it's 1999. But anyway, on the serious note, I'm passionate about this. That's why I continue to come to talk to y'all about it. Have y'all did preparation for 2024? Yes, I would assume everyone is going to vote. I would assume that everyone is understanding the political process. But to be quite honest, all right, we do this big hype about 2020, about presidential elections. And me personally, that I've been on that other side of the game, knowing that the presidential election is probably one of the least important elections to your life, to your personal life. The big thing is, do y'all vote in the interim elections? The reason why I wanted to continue to talk about 2024, because it's not about the president itself, because for real, Congress runs all the shit. So, not the president. If they like the president, they gotta go with what the president proposes. If they don't like the president, or the other side of the aisle is in Congress, the president's not gonna get what he puts on the table. So it's not really the president. The concern, as everyone should know, is the movement of this America. That's the big issue. And if things go the way they may go, hopefully not, it's not that he's going to get in the run the country. It is his base, his following. This country has already been terribly racist, terribly biased. Folks are just racist. Racism is a mental illness. White supremacy thinking is a mental illness, and they don't care. So, we're going to experience the nonsense either way, no matter who's in. That's why I said that it's you have choices. You have choices to live here or not. But at the very least, you can travel, you can get out of here when you want to. That's why it's so important for every American, especially Black or brown American, to own a passport. If you don't own a passport and you're over 40, you have just done such a disservice to yourself, and you are right where the white supremacists want you to be. Brainwashed by the rhetoric, by the propaganda, by the brainwashing of where they want to control you, and what they want you to do. Because in my travels, and I travel a lot, but I don't like travel a lot. I want to travel more, but in my travels, and it's interesting to the point where I'm like cocking my head like, really? Wait a minute. I thought this place was so bad. That's why I said, stop being brainwashed. Because when you get outside of this country and start traveling, you see the other folk that claim that this country's bad, that, Africa's bad and Africa's a shithole, and Jamaica has the travel advisory. I bet you if you go to any Jamaican all-inclusive, how many black people to how many white people that's going to be up in there will blow your mind. In my travels to the African continent, and a lot of people can connect if you've done it, I'll be the only black person at the resort. I'll be the only black person that is not a native moving around in spaces. The only black person. I've been to Kenya 5 times. I've been to Egypt. I've been to Dubai. Spain, all that stuff, but like the places that you would think would be a concentration of the diaspora. It'd be all white people. Like literally 99% white people. So I hope y'all not getting caught up, staying here sitting on an egg, saying, well, we built this country like we voluntarily did that shit. Come on, stop. That runs me up the wall when I hear people, oh no, I'm not going anywhere because me and my people helped build this country. That is absolutely true, but not by intention, by freaking force from free labor. And if that's your only, excuse of staying loyal to this place, okay, like I say sarcastically, if you like it, I love it. But there is a whole nother vibe. There's a whole other it's a whole nother world, and it's not just I promote the continent of Africa, not the country. Shade, no shade. The continent of Africa. But it's so many more places that you can go. Because it doesn't make any sense that middle income is now 110,000 and above. A studio apartment anywhere is $1,100, $1,200 and up. Who makes that? So you need a 2-income household to run a one-income household. But America's so great. Now America maybe had that reputation. Okay, because a lot of things that we thought were just ace standard before technology, before the global explosion, before we could see and get connected to other parts of the world in 2 seconds, literally. When I do business back and forth over in Kenya, I'll call some of my friends or my business people and I talk to them 2 seconds. We FaceTime just like this, like if I'm talking to someone in Atlanta. That's how connected now the world is. It's not you send. I remember years ago, I used to date this guy in Jamaica and we would write each other letters. And that was before cell phones. Okay. That was before cell phones and landlines to call, if you even had a phone. Landlines to call was like, what, $2 a minute? Okay. So we would write a letter and it would take like 2 weeks for them to get it, for me to get it. So it's a month. It would be a month of, around a communication round trip. Now I can call across the world and speak to my banker in Kenya in like literally 2 seconds. So, the U.S. and the Western world has got over basically saying white is right. We have been brainwashed from when we were little. White is right. Christopher Columbus discovered America. All that bullshit. And now we're finding out it's a bunch of bullshit. And there's still people sitting saying, oh my God, no, this country is the best thing in the world. Oh my God, I'm not going anywhere. It's the best country. And we have a lot of freedoms, but a lot of freedoms, if you want to look at that, freedoms, but not freedoms. It's freedoms very performatively freedoms. Because if you get stopped in your car that you pay for and you don't have car insurance or registration paid that you pay to the government, guess where you probably will be going? To jail. So that's a lot of freedom. You can't even drive if you don't have insurance. Land. In Africa, families, they automatically own and given hundreds, even thousands of acres of land. Where, of course, it is still to this day being colonized, unfortunately. Because at the end of the day, it's who has the money and the resources. That's why the colonizers want to keep all black people in a little in a bowl or a bucket or whatever, to not want to know what they should know. Real talk. So, we talk about freedoms here, but again, your grandma and them, will you inherit your grandma and them brownstone in Harlem or brownstone in Brooklyn that she lived in for 60 years, 70 years. She passed away, they passed away. Now it's yours. But the property taxes are freaking $25,000 a year. That the government decided how much it is. So it's never your land. You really don't own shit in this place. Like for real. You do not own shit. Because the government always has, in lack of better words, have you trumped. Have you trumped. Because you don't own shit. You can have your house paid off. You miss a couple of property tax payments. And see if you still own your house. Okay, so what freedoms are those? Okay, what freedoms are those? What freedoms are that there has been laws for 50 years that was enacted by the Supreme Court, and then another Supreme Court could say, or whoever could tell the Supreme Court, hey, we want to change that. They didn't come to the people. They didn't come to the one that no one in the masses of the folks in the U.S., the people that your representatives, remember, these people that's in government, don't think they like Jay-Z and Beyonce. No. You make them. Jay-Z made himself. Beyonce makes herself. Okay? They built themselves. These legislators, your representatives, your local representatives, your local judges, the people that you go to the polls and vote for, they are supposed to respect you. It's not supposed to be the other way around. Real talk. Never get that twisted. But yet, they're going to dictate how we are supposed to move and operate. So that's freedoms. I want someone to share with me the overwhelming freedoms that we really have at the end of the day. So, I got off on a little tangent on that. But that just goes back to me sharing with you, and I'm sorry about the bounce. I'm trying to get my little walk in. Get some fresh air. Try to keep this skin right. Child. But anyway, so, yeah, you staying cooped up and letting years go by. You at a job for 20, 30 years, 40 years, and then, barely making 40, 50,000. You ain't missed a day. Then you end up, God forbid, getting sick in some type of way. You can't even live to your retirement that they tell you should be dedicated and work to your retirement. And if y'all like going to a job that y'all are putting that job first before yourself, and these days, as these companies have proven to you that they don't give a flying F about you and will drop you like a hot freaking Le Creuset pan, you and I can't, we just don't see on the same thing. It's you first. You first. You shouldn't be worn. You shouldn't be stressed. This country is the only country that mental health is now the focus industry. Mental health. Before it was cancer, okay, because they feeding us poison, okay, and telling us it's the bomb, and then 5-10 years later, you see a PSA saying, oh, well, if you took this, you may have this type of cancer. So before it was the cancer places, okay, because they're killing us internally. Now, it's got to the point where we have ingested so much toxic. First it was toxic internal, physically. Now it's toxic showing out mentally. So now everybody got issues. Everybody need a therapist along with their primary care doctor in the U.S. Everybody taking some type of antidepressant or anti-anxiety. Why? Why? But this is, this is the best place. This is the best place. All I'm saying is to be open. And if people that are listening to me now and has listened to me before, and you still haven't got your passport and you really ain't interested, okay, that's fine. You don't even have to continue to listen, because no matter what I say and points that I make, you have made your decision, and everyone is, that's, I'm not going to judge you on that. That's just how you feel. And I'm old enough to know now, if that is what you're okay with, good for you. Seriously, good for you. It's just not okay for me. And I just want to share this with the people, that it's this of what's going on is not okay. That's all I'm doing. So if you want to challenge what I have going or whatever, or you thinking I'm being extra, or you thinking, oh, well, running. People always say, oh, well, you running to another place. I'm not running no damn where. Let me get that straight. I ain't running no damn where. Because at the end of the day, that blue passport, that's another thing that people are missing. If you go somewhere or not, that blue passport is one of the most powerful passports you can ever have. It's just not, the passport or the U.S. passport isn't just something that they stamp that you can get in and out the country. When you pull out your passport and it says United States of America, and I have seen it in action that I really never noticed in past years until I really started traveling internationally. People stand to attention. People's energy get real different. So you are more powerful outside this country than inside this country. Black and brown people. But I'm going to add on, even white people are over it. I've talked to so many people, not just black people, white folks, they're over it. Because no one wants to be nervous about going to the grocery store. No one wants to be nervous when they want to take their kids out to the park or a festival, being scared that some nut is going to come and run down someone or take out a AK-47. Why we need AK-40? Why are gun places selling AK-40? Like, are we at war? Is there like a war we don't know about? So why are guns at that level being so accessible? But it don't matter. People could get killed after killed after killed after killed in this place. And they keep it moving like nothing happened. That's why we all messed up in the head. Because we're ingesting all of this negativity. How can we go and function and live life properly and it doesn't affect us eventually at a level when we hear about mass shootings every other day? Some type of horrific event. And then we're just supposed to get up the next morning, have our breakfast, coffee, and go on, and that doesn't affect us? Come on. And in other countries, and I'm just going to share with you what I know and what I experienced. In Kenya, in Nairobi, they had a mass shooting at a mass shooting at a mall. Was it 1991? Or I forgot when it was. And after that mass shooting, it was one. That's all they need to have. One mass shooting. You can't go into one place in Nairobi without going through mass security. I don't care if it's a strip mall. I don't care if it's a school. I don't care if it's a hotel. I was in Brooklyn the other month, downtown Brooklyn. And the hotel that I was staying, I walked right in. It was, some people at the front desk, but, little young girl at the front desk being overwhelmed because, more than like she the only one working, the manager in the back. I could have been anybody and just rolled up in that place, got on the elevator, and, preyed on someone. Nobody see nothing. This was in Brooklyn. When I travel abroad, when I'm in Nairobi, when people aren't even allowed to have guns, number one, they have security like that. Go to Nairobi, the hotels that I stayed, cars can't even, the Uber to drive up, to drop you off and pick you up, has to go through security like they in Beirut. They have the magnifying glass underneath the car and the all of the things to check around the car and going in your trunk and to get into to drop you off at the hotel. Then when you get out the car, then the hotel is totally gated. And these are all hotels. And with some hotels, they have a military police. Not only a person at the gate that controls the access to the gate, but they have a military police with the AK-47 standing right there when you drive up. So why can't the U.S. get on 10% of that shit? If, we love America. It's crazy. So I come to you not to fearmonger you, but just to keep it a buck. And I talked about this last year, this time. I know during the summer, probably after those babies in Texas got killed. And these people do all this shooting, killing. You don't hear nothing. That's amazing to me. After they arrest them, you don't hear about trials. They keep their names so out of the public. Isn't that so interesting? And not saying that, R. Kelly or whoever Diddy is innocent and they bullshit, but they will continue to, throw them and Bill Cosby and all of that to keep their names out there as being villains. But it's the dude that shot up the freaking movie theater in the club. Where he? You don't hear anything about the people that did not kill themselves in these mass shootings or mass domestic terrorism events. You don't hear anything. And we're supposed to be okay with it. And we wonder why it's not enough therapists, psychiatrists, and mental health now is really the number one industry needed. So, all of this to say, I hope that y'all have a plan for 2024, right? On many ways. Even if you don't want to leave for whatever reason, that's your choice. But you should know if you have interim elections coming up, you need to know who you're voting for, because with the interim elections, those are more important than presidential elections. Because if you don't know who your representative is, or if you don't vote for, who your county clerk is, who your county supervisor is, with your the judges in your county, in your local area, the sheriffs, if you don't go and vote in those, you really messed up. And it really doesn't matter if you go and vote in the presidential election, because whoever you vote for in the presidential elections, it's only performative numbers, because the electoral college is going to pick the damn president anyway. That's a game. That whole presidential bullshit is a game. But what you have more control over is your local. That's the most important. That's what's going to affect you in your life. Not who is president. Yeah, it kind of trickles up to that. If you are really diehard voter, you know what's going on. But at the least minimum, I implore you, I beg you, vote in the local elections. That's what matters. And the Western media is so, what's the word? They're so deliberate in how they gaslight you. They never talk about the local elections. You barely even know. People know how I was so involved in the political process. I'll find out like that day that Cobb County's having an election. Like, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? How did I miss that it was election day today? It's deliberate. Y'all aren't crazy. It's deliberate. But you know, because they make this whole big thing and you get calls and all of this and all of that. When it's presidential election, they know how to find $1 billion because that's how much it costs to run for president now. It's over $1 billion. But they don't have money for proper education resources to give teachers raises. The homeless population. Woo, I almost fell and bust my butt. The homeless population is disgusting. Disgusting. They don't have money for that. They don't have money for all of these office buildings that are now sitting abandoned, okay, because people work at home. They don't have money to convert those into affordable housing whatsoever. But one person and their team has over $1 billion in an election season to spend on, hi, good afternoon, in an election season to win a fucking presidential election. But when that question's asked, everybody quiet. Silence. $1 billion. Not 1 million. That's a lot. $1 billion in an election season. Not the 4 years. In an election season from now until November. They can find $1 billion to say, I'm president. But they can't find $1 million to put into school systems. To give teachers 5% rate, to give teachers or give people that really can make a difference in people's lives. They can't find money for that. They can find money to give Israel to help do genocide and kill people. They got money for that. But they don't have money to educate the people here, to keep the people safe here. But then we want to argue and people want to gaslight me about how wonderful this place is and why y'all running away. We built this country. For free. And what we get back from it? Not a darn thing. What you get back from corporate America being there 40 years? A watch and a card and a paper box to put your in when you leave, when your CEO getting $20 million bonuses per year. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to get on this. I just wanted y'all to make sure to have your passports, if nothing else, and then to also look at, make sure you have your plan B set up, because you don't want to be a sitting duck. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. All right, people. Stay good. Have a blessed Sunday. Check you later. Because, see, I'm on my grind. I'm about to go on my second, third job. Okay? Second, third, fourth, whatever it come into play. Okay? Because I got to get ready for 2024. Okay? I'm ready for 2024. I ain't playing. I'm making this out. I'm not playing. You know, I may have shades on, but I see very clearly. But anyway, I love y'all. If I didn't, I wouldn't want to share this with you. This is Miss G, 50 Shades of Glow. The fabulous lifestyles of being 50 plus and fabulous. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.